are about to have a total solar eclipse in Leo, and this is where your life will get thrown back into the hands of destiny. This type of eclipse is the strongest, most potent eclipse energy. In the sign of Leo, which Leo energy hasn't been activated in a long time, this is going to be very humbling. This is going to pop the fragile, inflated ego. We are going to be called to let go of everything that we've been clinging onto because of our ego. This is really, we have to let go of anything egoic so we can come back into alignment with our true, authentic, real, raw self expression. And we have to, with Leo, it's a fixed sign, and all the fixed signs yearn and cling a little bit differently. And with Leo specifically, it's very nostalgic. It clings on to the good old days. And right now, we are being asked to let go of the good old days. We have to let go of the idea of the way things were and how we wished it could stay the same and how we wished it could be that way forever, because change is coming. And a fixed sign like Leo, we don't like change. None of us do, none of the fixed signs. So that is Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio. That is going to be hitting you guys the hardest. But overall, all our egos are going to be humbled under this eclipse. We are disconnecting from anything that is not truly authentic to ourselves. And if you are seeking recognition, validation, attention, fame, applause, anything for the wrong reasons, you are going to get humbled under this transit. The nodes are now in Leo and Aquarius for the next 18 months. And if you are doing something not for the benefit of the collective, you are just doing it solely for yourself, you are going to get humbled. You are going to get embarrassed. This is the death of the influencer this time, which I'm so stoked for, because finally we're going to have real, authentic content and expression coming into the world. And this is going to be when our ego gets put in check so we can step into our authentic leadership, where we realize and remember why we're here. We are not just here for ourselves. We are here on a mission. We are here for the collective. There is some service. There is something we have to offer here, not just to ourselves, but everyone around us. There is some type of creative expression with Leo energy, something that you are here to create and share with the world. And anything that's been stopping you from sharing your gifts and your talents and your creative expression with the world, is going to come up now under this eclipse energy. This is anything holding you back from accomplishing your biggest goals, dreams, aspirations in this lifetime. It is anything holding you back from your destiny, which your ego can do. Your ego is formed in the 3D matrix. All this programming that holds you back from shining your light and being who you're meant to be, it's going to come up quite strongly with this eclipse. And for the rest of August, it's going to be a lot of things coming up, a lot of blockages, a lot of things that have been stifling us from stepping into our truest, realest, fullest expression. Anything holding us back from being seen for what we're meant to be seen for in this lifetime. It's like that quote that the acorn knows already how to become the acorn tree. The blueprint is within you, and you know how to become it, and you will become it. But your ego, your 3D matrix programming, your fears will hold you back momentarily. And this is when the eclipses bring all that stuff up. All of it comes to the surface to show us what's been blocking us, to accelerate our awakening, to accelerate our soul's growth and evolution. And anything that's been blocking our visibility from being seen for our real, authentic selves is going to come up now. Anything that's been keeping you small. And most of the time, your ego is trying to keep you small. But it's the balance, right? Because your ego can sometimes overinflate itself. So it's a stripping away of the ego for us to be truly seen, for us to reveal ourselves fully, undiluted, without any masks or facades or fake personas. This is where all of that gets stripped away. And if you try and hold on to a fake persona or mask, you're going to get humbled. But this is really where we're coming into our true selves, getting comfortable with shining who we really are. not what we know will be accepted, not what we know will get recognition, validation for. This is no longer seeking for external validation. This is about coming back to our center. You have been looking outside yourself for life force energy, for vitality, for recognition. But this is about plugging back into the life force that is within you, that has always been here. And this is your essence, this is your truth, and this is your potency and your power and your gift and your medicine for this planet. You need to tap back into that. Stop looking outside yourself, which is what we always say, but this is really going to be that humbling moment, I think, for a lot of us, this eclipse, where we will have to, like, we will have no other option but to plug back into our own never ending life force energy to then create something of meaning to us and to the collective, to the world, that will benefit everyone, not just ourselves. Leo can be very egotistical and selfish and performative. It can, yeah, really seek outside itself for external validation and approval, and all those elements in you are probably going to come up under this eclipse. But in its highest expression, this eclipse will initiate you and your creative energy and your creative life force potential to create something, to inspire you, to push you forwards. This is a new moon south node eclipse. So a new moon is all about new beginnings, and the south node is all about the letting go of the past, or sometimes reintegrating something from our past. So it really is, you close one door and another one opens simultaneously. This is happening at the same time. It's a new moon, it's a new beginning, it's fresh Leo energy that hasn't been activated in a really long time. And it's a South Node eclipse where we're letting something go in order for that new beginning to kind of be birthed and created. But it's a new beginning that could be tied to our past, that could be tied to a past experience or a past connection or something familiar to us or something that we already know. It's a talent and a gift that maybe we'd forgotten in the past of this life, or maybe gifts and talents that we had in a past life that we are reintegrating back because now it is of use. Now we are ready. Maybe it's a talent that we haven't consciously developed yet, and now it's going to show up. Now it's been laying dormant within us, and now it's going to be activated under this eclipse, because the South Node eclipses really tell you what needs to go and what we need to bring forward into the future. Because the South Node is the tail end of the dragon. It is where we have come from. And the North Node, which is now in Aquarius, this is the head of the dragon, this is where we're heading towards. We are looking at where we've come from, and whatever house, whatever part of your chart's being activated, we're bringing something forward and bringing it into the future for the collective. And because the Aquarian energy is all about humanitarian projects and humanity and society and breaking out of the status quo and creating something different and innovations, and this is a really beautiful energy that we are going to be seeing over the next 18 months of us bringing our creative expression forward into the world to help humanity. But Leo is all about our creative self-expression. Aquarius is all about technology. There might be a bit of a push and pull between that, of like what is real and authentic and human versus what is AI and technology. And we're already seeing that now. But how can we work together with these things? How can we work with AI and technology? How can I bring my creative expression that's still real and it's still authentic and it's still aligned with me and my truth, but how can I, like, kind of bring it forward into a more futuristic aspect with Aquarius, maybe adding technology into it as well. And this is the first eclipse since the nodes shifted signs at the end of July. So this is the start of the chapter. This is the first initial imprint. Your life might not be flipped upside down right now, but it's seeding. The seeding is happening now. But with this being a South Node eclipse, this is the tail end of the dragon. There is no understanding of what's going on right now. There is no logic. it doesn't have the head of the dragon. We're just at the tail end. So this is all about our intuition and trusting our gut, and we're walking blind into our future. And I guess you always are, but specifically at this time, it's going to be very strange and weird. And the only thing that you can really follow are the synchronicities and signs and messages and people that show up on your path that you might think has just happened by chance, but nothing is a coincidence ever. And especially this time, you can't logically make sense of it because it's not about our intellect. It's not about our knowledge of the mind. It's about the knowledge of our intuition and the intelligence of our intuition, and being more receptive to the energies of what is actually calling us forth and where is the universe actually wanting to guide you, and trusting our path as we're being blindfolded, basically. And that's why I'm saying our life is going to be thrown back into the hands of destiny. We will not be making any conscious decisions at this time. Like, something is it this really shows an outside force coming into play into your life. And with Leo energy, it's going to be very humbling on the ego, and the ego will try and fight this, and it will try and resist this. And it's normal, it's a normal human response. But this is the energy of what's going to happen. We are going to be humbled, but that is a liberation point. This is a unraveling of the ego that needs to happen. And there's different definitions of ego, and I'm just talking more about what the fear programming that holds us back in our life, that is all unraveling now, and that can be really challenging and really difficult for most of us. It's going to be, and we need to be really gentle with ourselves if we as we move through this energy. But focusing on the higher expression of Leo energy, which is our creative expression, and just any creative pursuits that you want to bring out into the world. Jupiter is now in Leo as well, and Jupiter is all about expansion. So it is expanding your potential in this area of your life. It is expanding that desire and that urge to create. But you cannot create from a egoic place. You cannot create something for the wrong reasons. You cannot do something just to make a name for yourself, just to get famous, just to get rich. And whoever is out there doing that, I'm so happy because they're going to get humbled, and it's finally going to, yeah, wipe the slate of this whole influencer world that we live in now. This is really going to, on a collective consciousness level, everything's going to be shifting to what is authentic, what is real, what is human, what is something that I deeply resonate with, that my heart feels called to. Because Leo, in its highest expression, you're wearing your heart on your sleeve when you're in that Leo energy. And we need to come back to our heart, not the performance, not the ego, not putting on a show for people. This is coming back to our heart and what our heart desires, and why you're actually doing this. Why are you actually here? What do you love to do? What actually ignites you and sets your soul on fire? This is the time for you to discover that and start creating it and start like making it happen. Because the North Node's in Aquarius, this is the time. This is time for you to create. This is time for you to innovate. This is time for you to help the planet and the world and humanity and society, because everything is shifting and everything is changing, and the world will be falling apart because the old world needs to collapse for us to create the new one. So this is the time for us to get really creative about what role do I have to play in the creation of this new earth, because the astrology is lining it all up for us. And you might not consciously understand what that means or what that looks like right now, but just try and focus on what you can create from this moment forward, that you can push into the future, that will be for the betterment of humanity and everyone in your life, not just you. And I also wanted to mention the July basket configuration we had last month. It was massive energy, and we're still feeling it now. It's very strong, and it's my bad I didn't pick up on this earlier. But I was talking about for a whole month straight about a pyramid configuration on July 19th. And I discovered that it happened again on July 24th. another pyramid configuration, and I thought that was crazy that it happened 2 times in a row. Crazy. We're having a third pyramid configuration on the day of this eclipse, and the first two pyramid configurations, they didn't hold for longer than a day. This configuration is holding for nearly 3 days. And if we're looking at the pyramid configuration, the apex point of this pyramid in the sky is at Uranus again. Now, July 19th, that apex point was at Uranus as well. So it's a reactivation of that exact same energy, which is just wild. But now Venus is trining Pluto and creating this pyramid. So now Venus is in the mix. She's in Libra, her home sign. So this is very beautiful, beneficial energy as well. But I find it just so wild because on the 14th of August at 3 a.m. Sydney time, the pyramid will completely break. Everything in the sky will just basically disappear. And this is really showing me that the outer planets are really here to support the energy of this eclipse. It is not just a south node eclipse, it's all these other planets in play as well, continuing to make that change that began in July. And what I was saying in July was this was the beginning of a relaunch of civilization, and it is carrying forward now for the rest of August, for the next 18 months. But specifically right now, seeing this pyramid configuration again kind of blew my mind. I didn't see it coming, but this is going to be not just August, but way beyond that. This energy of there's something being created for a long-term change. This is not just a one and done situation. The fact that it's been shown in the cosmos a pyramid shape 3 times. This is really a time where we need to actively engage in the opportunities that present themselves and really see it as a cosmic message from the divine. Any person you meet, anything that happens, any choice you make, any action you take right now is incredibly important, and there are a lot of energies to come in and support. And as that support comes in and shows up in your life, you need to take hold of it. You need to make the most of this energy. It is just wild that from the 11th to the 14th, this is going to be holding this pyramid configuration. I would be working with the energies, being very receptive to what's going on around me, because I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a pyramid once, but we've seen it 3 times, and it's happening on the day of the eclipse. Like, come on, this is crazy. And because this pyramid configuration is hitting that same apex point, it's hitting Uranus again. Uranus is the most dominant energy of the pyramid, is how I'm reading it. And Uranus is the planet of shakeups. It is breaking us out of the status quo. It is exactly what we need for the new earth to come forth. And breaking of the status quo might not always look good. I'm just letting you know, like, the old world collapsing won't look pretty, but this is a really good sign that the astrology is constantly confirming what I feel to be true just energetically in my own self, and the visions I get of the new earth coming in very, very quickly. The astrology is lining us up perfectly again to have this have more energy pouring in that is around breaking us out of old systems and the old paradigm, which is exactly what I want and exactly what we need right now. This eclipse is also conjuncting some asteroids that are related to Egypt, that is related to Atlantis, and this is really driving the new age. Like, I cannot explain to you how this astrology is just getting wilder and wilder and wilder as we go through 2026. Like, it is building to something really big. And with this specifically, these asteroids that are being triggered, this is going to be a recognition of the reality of spirit. And obviously, everyone that follows me, you guys already know, but this is on a mass scale. The masses are not going to be able to deny the reality of spirit and the reality of magic and everything that is beyond the intellect, that is beyond the five senses. We will sense a outside force, something that is greater than us, that is supporting us and helping us and guiding us on our journey. And it's also going to be a recognition of our ancient past and those ancient societies like Atlantis and Lemuria, and the advanced technologies that we had back then that we still have here now. Something is going to come up around that, and this can connect with galactics and UFOs, and it's all just a huge rabbit hole into all this stuff that's going to come out, and it already is coming out. But I find it really interesting that this eclipse is conjuncting some of these asteroids. There could be more revelations coming up about Egypt or Atlantis or advanced technologies or med beds or crystalline tech or frequency technology, something like that, um, that we can focus on in for the higher expression and the healing technology that can come in from this. I'm really excited to see what happens. But because we don't know what's going to happen, all we can do is pay attention to the signs and give it all to God, is really what the South Node eclipses always ask of us. It's always the message of just trust us, we've got this. Like, let us take this, let fate take the reins right now, because you have no control anyway, it's going to happen, and see what can be birthed from that place. We have to just follow the thread right now, even when we're blindfolded, and we have to use this time to integrate the things from our past that we need, whether that's past life stuff or whether it's the past of this life. We are integrating parts of ourselves that we have left behind. And like always, the astrology is perfectly lined up and connected because we just had Mercury retrograde in Cancer, which brought up a lot of intense stuff, a lot of things that we had buried and kept hidden, and aspects of ourselves that were coming up to the surface, which is perfectly on time for us now to have this South Node eclipse that is giving us the opportunity to integrate those parts that we need, and also let go of aspects of ourselves that are no longer authentic and true and connected with who we are deep down inside. Because what we are being called to do from now on is expressing from our truth and who we are really on the inside. And we need to discover that for ourselves. Who are we on the inside when we strip all the stories, all the ego, fears, doubts, all the things that we've been holding ourselves back, the excuses, the things that have kept us small? Who are we really? And where is that? Like, we need to kind of strip everything back to find that power and find that light within us. And there is so much courage that it takes to share your light with the world, but this is the energy is supporting you to do that. And there is a shedding and there is an unraveling that needs to happen first with a South Node eclipse, but it is shedding everything that you're not, so you are more in alignment with your light, your gifts, your medicine, your talents that you can then share with the world and make a difference. And you will make your mark, but not in an egoic way where you'll make your name and you'll get famous. It is, you are making your mark from an authentic place where you are making a difference out of the love and passion and drive coming straight from your heart and soul. And right now, this South Node eclipse, our soul is leading the way. Our soul is moving us right now. And we just need to trust that and remember what we are here for. We are here for connection. We are here for expression. We are here for creation. That is real. That is authentic. That is raw. That is beyond the smoke and mirrors and the fake world that we've lived in for a very long time. This is when the realness and the rawness and the fullest expression comes in, and I'm so excited. So really tap into that vitality and that life force energy. Feel your soul's fire right now. Despite the ego falling apart, this is really good for your soul. This is a really big activation for your soul's journey and your soul's evolution. And I just can't wait to see how everyone comes, fuller and deeper into themselves and the gifts that we all have to share. We are all so unique. And that should be the word you take away from this video, is unique. Your uniqueness is like, no one can match what you've got. And that's not an egoic thing like, oh my God, I'm special. You are special. But your uniqueness, your essence, your blueprint, your acorn, whatever you have come here to become, you will become it. And this is really the start of planting that acorn seed for you to become that acorn tree, whatever that is for you. So I'm so excited for all of us now beginning to step into our roles and starting our soul's mission, if we haven't already, to really bring in this new earth, because that is what the astrology is telling us. And I am so keen.